Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, to another rom-com to talk about. So, let me tell you something. Spring anime is the year of rom-coms. I feel like we got plethora of rom-coms this year for the spring because spring is about the season of love and all that stuff. And spring animes, we got about roughly, I think about 7, 8 rom-coms, like so many rom-coms to cover. We got this is spring anime. This is the rom-coms year. And I feel like this year, not this season, but this year is all about the rom-coms at this moment. Now, here's a question that we all should ask ourselves. Gals, does gals be kind to an otaku? That's the name of this anime. Gals can't be too kind to otaku? That's the question right there. And you know what? We are now, in every year, we're going to get a gal. We are going to get a gal. Now, we all love our gals, Everyone love Marin Kirigawa. Perfect example. Marin Kirigawa, for My Dress Up Darling, is the perfect example of a hot gal. Everybody loves Marin Kirigawa at this moment in time. But as time moves on, past or present, there were gals that came out before and after Marin Kirigawa. Like, for example, my favorite gals, and you can make an argument here, you can make an argument, but my favorite gals in anime is the Hokkaido gals. I can make a legit argument that the Hokkaido gals are hotter than Marin Kirigawa. But now we're in this new era of 2026 with new gals approaching. And this is a show where what happens when a guy, just an ordinary otaku like ourselves, talks about anime, etc., and then you get talked by these two gullible gals. Like, it's like watching this just makes you feel like watching this is the combine of the rom-com 2.5 dimensional seduction. Yes, 2.5 dimensional seduction with a mix of My Dress Up Darling, with a mix of Don't Toy With Me Nakatoro. The only difference is this gal is way hotter than Nakatoro, but that's here or there. Anyway, there's a rom-com you guys have to watch where imagine if it was us otakus who want to talk about anime, and then you got these two gals talking about it secretly. That's the show right there. So without further ado, let's get right to it with a review of Gals Can't Be Too Kind to an Otaku. Or you could call it Otagal. Get it? Otaku, gal, otagal. You can call it like that. So let's start this off. So this episode 1 kicks off everything you want to know about the show. You got a guy named Takia or Seo, but they call him Otaku-kun. Otaku-kun, Otaku, but we call him Seo, or I call him Seo, or Otaku. But you got this guy who's just us. Who's us? The 1% guy. And I've been in his shoes before. Seriously, I've been in his shoes. Because watching him being alone, want to be that 1%, talk about anime, and I feel left out. That's how I was in high school. Back in high school, I was always that 1% who want to talk about anime, but others talk about music, freaking Marvel, DC, want to hang out kind of thing, those basic things that you see in high school days, to the point you're like, I want to talk about anime, but I didn't get a chance. That's how I felt like him. And they bond over an eraser. An eraser from Glittermon, their anime that they watch. It's just like one eraser changed the entire landscape of this show. So you got Ichiki, this dark-skinned gal, and I swear to God, let me just say this right now. Let me just say this right now. I'm just gonna let you know right now what I'm about to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Marin Kirigawa is not be dropping down the third best gal. I'm sorry. As of this moment in time, just matter of fact, fourth. Because, don't get me wrong, Marin Kirigawa for My Dress Up Darling is kind of like the transcendent of gal, like raw reinvented gals. But after watching Ichiki and Amane, these two gals are downright hotter than Marin Kirigawa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I tell you this, Ichiki is way hotter than Yoriichi from Bleach. I know people talking about Yoriichi is the hottest dark-skinned female. No, it's Ichiki. I swear, I'm dead serious. Ichiki looks amazing. Like, the animation is flawless. Dark skin, green emerald eyes, blonde hair. Like, come on. That's some galish stuff. And Imane, and then we introduce Imane, long brownish hair. Like, she's one of those, like, maiden of the Iron Mask. She has that Iron Mask maiden vibe to a point, like, she don't want to reveal that she's an otaku. She's like the anime. But yeah, so what happened was this MC drops an eraser, and Ichiki looking at this eraser like, oh, what is this? And that kind of opened up for Imane, because Imane knows what this show is. This just shows you that gals have secrets too. Gals don't talk about just guys. You know how gals open up their shirts and say about, oh, this and this and that, little typical gals. These Amane has a secret. She loves Glittermon. She loves anime. It's like that right there is a representation of like us, a bittersweet. This is so bittersweet, open to like the gals who have a secret and they into anime like us. They're like us. So there are moments in this episode where we see Seo just like, again, not having friends because his picks is all anime stuff. And I get it. I understand. I've never been in his shoes like that, but Seo, Takia, whatever you call him, I think Takia is like us. Not being the otaku guy and want to talk about anime, being that 1%er, that's that. But with these two energetic gals with him, it's just brought out attention. But Imane is the main one, because in this episode we saw Imane just crying because her favorite character dies. And we've been in their shoes. We've been in Takiya's shoes before. Think about it, guys. Let's be honest. How many times that you watch an anime show and you literally cried, and then you wake up the next day with red eyes, red teary sadness? We have been there before. I've been there before. Like, I remember Angel Beats, one of the saddest animes that ever lived. In one of the episodes, I ain't gonna spoil anything. Sorry, in one of the episodes, they made me cry to a point that I was crying outside for about 10 minutes. Because that scene hit me. And then I went upstairs and my eyes were red, because those are true freaking tears. That's how it is. So again, he's on the train and you see Imane with the same red eyes. And again, she's an otaku as well. I mean, like, but that's the question. Gals can't be too kind to otakus. Here's the thing about Imane. Imane, so I'm gonna break this down for a bit. Imane has secrets of her own. She's into the same anime that he's in. And she's so like detailed and observant when it comes to the same show that he's in, because she's like, oh, he's from episode that's from episode 2. So when he went and look at the show, he's like, wait a minute, he's from episode 2. And it's kind of like, wow, she watched anime. It's like it's like she's pulling off Himaru-chan. You know how, like, you look at Imane when she's like with everybody, she's like herself, being the typical gal. But outside of school, she's watched anime with her sisters. It's like she watches anime a lot. She watches anime. And then Ichiki, the energetic airhead type. Well, I'm not saying airhead. It's just a little far-fetched. The energetic hype gal that she is, just toying with the MC. And she started to get into anime. She started watching the same show. And it's just great to see the development of these two. Again, it's really good. They even went to the same store to animate and then, like, the show teaches you about being yourself, and being yourself, being open to get people into like anime. If a gal likes anime, go watch anime. That's it. But again, they have so much in common. Like, I can imagine Kitagawa and Imane meet and they talk about anime. I can imagine that. Like, just think about that for just a second. But again, it's like one good deed comes to another. And the good deed was when he helped that tourist out, he went to the anime and he wanted that same figure. And, it kind of got those three into buying the mystery box. We all bought mystery boxes. But again, this is a show about a regular otaku like ourselves getting that one dream that we want. That one dream to be with the gals. That's everybody's dream. And the fact that these two are into anime, oh, I love it. I love it. But again, we're already in one episode. But then they show the part when these two beautiful gals are in his room. We're not even like episodes 3 or 4, maybe even 6, and they're already in his apartment. Yo, Seo, Takuyo, you got my respect. You got my respect. Now, the opening. Can I say this? This opening is freaking peak. Shout out to the singers for this one. This opening is freaking peak. Look. If we had the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, that song, that opening sequence would have been nominated. That would have been nominated. It is so. It was so good. It was like looking at K-pop Demon Hunters. I'm sorry, I know, but the way they were dancing, it was fantastic. The opening was fantastic. I can't a 10 out of 10 at most. But overall, though, this first episode of Gals Can't Be Too Kind to Otaku, it just shows you otakus like us bond like for a gal secretly that's into anime. That's like a dream. And then you have these two gals just like don't want to admit it, but they into anime. But they like, and I gotta say, the animation looks flawless. Look at their eyes. Look at this. The animation is so freaking good. And you got Takuya, who's like, again, a representative of us who don't want to reveal to everybody he's going to talk about anime, but if you want to talk about anime, he's the guy. This is the guy. I can't hate it. I really can't. But yeah, with an eraser that bond these two together, and Imane's huge hit to the show, it just showed you more that gals do love anime. And they can be kind to an otaku. I mean, have you seen 2.5 Dimensional Seduction? That's a perfect example. So, thank you for watching my review of the show. I look forward for next week's episode of it, and I'm sure you will.